Andrew Tate, the most famous man on planet Earth. Love him or hate him, everyone is watching. Although controversial, Andrew's meteoric rise to fame has led him to become one of the most influential men in the world. He's no longer regarded as a celebrity or an influencer, but rather a political figure, a man who has captured a generation of minds and impacted millions of people across the globe. His polarizing views have sparked debates worldwide, even at the highest of levels, including institutions and governmental organizations.
Online influencer Andrew Tate's vile misogyny infiltrates our classrooms and society.
Andrew and Tristan Tate were arrested by Romanian police and detained for 24 hours.
A controversial social media influencer, Andrew Tate.
No, we're very innocent men, and in time everybody's going to see that, and we're very excited to finish this judicial process and do our next. And we all live one life, try to make your mark on the world and make people understand how and why you think, and try and be a positive influence and have children.
Social media influencer Andrew Tate has told the BBC Tonight that he has nothing to fear after a court in Romania ruled he and his brother Tristan can be extradited back to the UK.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
And Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
If I want to achieve something, I will achieve it, because I've never been in a situation in my life so far in my 21 years where I really wanted something and didn't get it.
My mother and father broke up when I was 10. We moved to England.
How did that affect you?
I'm carrying boxes of fish in a fish market at 7 in the morning for $40 a day. I can't just sit still and die. A lot of people are happy to just sit still and die. My entire life, I've always woken up thinking or feeling like I had an enemy to fight against. As long as I can remember, I've always had. I was a professional chess player when I was a kid. So when I was 4, I woke up and my dad was sitting there saying, "You're playing this Chinese kid, he's good." Right? So I always had that. Then I had professional fighting. I had 87 fights. So my whole life I had some fight coming up. And now I wake up and the Matrix is attacking me. So I've always woken up feeling like I had an enemy. And that's certainly shaped my reality. It definitely shapes how I act. It shapes how I think.
Andrew Tate, a name that invokes both admiration and disdain. From champion kickboxer to social media provocateur, his journey is anything but ordinary. This is the story of a man who has walked the line between fame and infamy. Born on December 1st, 1986, in Washington, D.C., Emery Andrew Tate, third the son of a chess international master, Emery Andrew Tate Jr., and an English mother. His early years were a blend of discipline and adventure, heavily influenced by his father's intellectual rigor and his mother's cultural roots.
I had a fantastic mom. She did what a mother was supposed to do. I guess I was raised in a I call it hyper traditional. The modern world will call it misogynistic household. My father was in charge. It was his household. My mother was in charge of feeding us and clothing us and sending us to school, and she did a fantastic job. I think that as a boy, as a man, I always wanted to emulate my father. My father was a superhero. So my father instilled a lot of the mindset that I have, but my mother did a lot of the basic things that kept me alive, if that makes sense. She was a fantastic mom, and she's still alive today, and I love her very much. One of the first things I did when I got rich was retire her completely. So she is one of the people I take care of, and I'll take care of her for the rest of her life. And she did the absolute best she could. And that's the reason we moved to England. They decided to get divorced, and England has a better social care system. We had no money. So we got moved to England, and I grew up in Luton, which is the worst town in England, in an area called Marsh Farm, which is the worst area
Of the
worst town. So it's like as bad as you can get, like the worst place you can possibly go. I think my school had a 4% pass rate or something ridiculous, So I grew up in a really bad area. But my mother, yeah, she was fantastic, and she did the absolute best she could. And she always loved my father to the end. But I think my father, in many ways, there's certainly been a lot of circumstances where he sacrificed his marriage to raise us in a very particular way. Because my mother and father would argue most over the raising of me and Tristan, because my dad was so hard on us. But he said, "Look, you boys are my legacy are more important than arguing with your mother." So I think that's actually why they broke up, because he was so hard on us. But I thank him for it. So yeah, but I don't want to disrespect my mother by saying there isn't much more to say, because that's the fact she was a very nice, very loving, very attentive mother. That's what she did. But my dad was always my superhero.
Moving to Luton, England with his mother and siblings, Tristan and Janine, after his parents separated, Andrew's upbringing was marked by resilience and adaptability. These qualities would later define his career. Tate's foray into kickboxing began in his teenage years. His natural athleticism and relentless work ethic quickly set him apart. Under the guidance of his trainers, he honed his skills and embraced the grueling demands of the sport. Tate's hard work paid off as he rose through the ranks, eventually becoming a 4-time world kickboxing champion. His victories in the ring were a testament to his discipline and tenacity.
Yesterday was my birthday, and me and Andrew, what did we eat on my birthday?
KFC.
Why did we eat KFC? Because when I was 21, me and Andrew used to have no food. I used to drive my broken Volkswagen Golf to the KFC restaurant in Dunstable, United Kingdom, and I used to sit in my car. And you couldn't ever eat anyone's leftover food if they ever had their mouth on it. But at KFC, they used to buy buckets. And I would sit and wait for people to sit outside, eat their meal, and leave the bucket on the table. And I used to go and take that bucket, 3 or 4 pieces of chicken. And I used to collect 20, 30, 40 pieces of chicken that were perfectly fine, left in the buckets. And I used to go home and I used to freeze that chicken. And me and Andrew would break it up, put it in our rice, and that was our meal. That's what sustained us for that hard year. That year we had when I was 21 and you were 22. That's how broke we were. I used to scavenge chicken from KFC because I thought, fuck it, I'm not dying and I'm not losing my kickboxing fights because I don't have enough protein. What am I going to do to make it through the day? That's how broke I was. And that's a sad story if you never make it out.
Tate understood the power of social media early on. His ability to engage with followers through provocative content helped him amass a significant following in a relatively short period. But with fame came scrutiny. His outspoken views on gender roles, relationships, and personal success stirred controversy and polarized audiences.
Ugly. He's an asshole.
I think he's the most sexist man alive.
No, I can't stand Andrew.
Because he fucking sucks.
Wonderful. Fuck you.
Do you know who he is? Why don't you like him?
Because he's a misogynistic asshole who
define misogyny.
trafficked women.
He didn't though.
He did though.
No.
Give me some more nourishment. You are, bro. You hate women, you hate gays, and you're racist. Of course you like Andrew Tate, you f***ing scumbag.
I don't know the rules of Romania. My point is, he is showing up on my feed non-fucking stop. Dude. I'm not clicking on it. It's just next video is him. In that accent, which I don't know what the fuck country that is.
I've been trying to figure that shit out too.
God.
See? You are weird. I'm gonna find you and peg you, Andrew Tate.
Leveraging his online influence, Tate launched several business ventures, most notably Hustlers University. This online platform promised financial independence and entrepreneurial success through courses on trading, e-commerce, and personal branding.
So now I've made close to 5 figures.
And now here I am, living in Chicago, making more money than I have ever made, more money than my parents, and I'm 19 years old.
Andrew Tate's rise to fame has been accompanied by numerous controversies. His views on women, relationships, and societal norms have sparked outrage and debate.
Thing I want to make very clear, when we try and feminize men,
A woman can't go around people and pretend it's the same as a man running around people. It's absolutely not the same. A man can only cheat if he loves someone else. If I have a woman who I truly love, and I go out and I come back to her, and I don't care about her, and I only love my girl, that's not cheating. That's exercise. If she even talks to a dude, it's cheating. Because females are emotionally invested.
So, we Muslims are in a predicament because he said some really good things about Islam. He said that Islam is the last religion. No one can go against it.
You can find a bunch of women who adhere to Islam who are still virgins to the age of 25 waiting for an arranged marriage.
Oh, yeah.
You will not find that under Christianity.
How do you feel? Like he said good things about Islam, but now he's saying all these things about women.
Just because you say nice things about Islam, if you're going to say hateful things about women, I think that says that you don't actually understand that much about Islam. Because in Islam, you have to respect women, you have to value women. So how can you say such hateful things? And how can you make money off of cam girls and then also try and gain the Muslim population's respect? I think just because you say one thing, your behavior shows a lot more than that.
There are a lot of women who don't know him who seem to hate him, ironically. But I'm not sure it's as clear-cut as he's a misogynist.
I don't think he's a misogynist, and I have a brother who's probably within his target demographic, 23, and I can understand why his message would resonate with him, because it's normal, it's normal, exactly, for young men to feel like they don't have a place in Western society, and he actually makes that point. I just think when you don't want to outright condemn 10th century barbarians like the Taliban, you tend to use your case with more moderate people. But again, we're not his target audience.
In addition to legal battles, Tate has been banned from several social media platforms due to violations of their policies. These bans have sparked debates about the balance between free speech and platform responsibility.
I was banned from Gmail,
Stripe, Facebook, Instagram, 5 or 6 different banks, Uber, like every app on my phone just started logging out. They think I'm gonna, get an Uber and convince the driver? Yeah. What am I gonna do? Hey bro, the Matrix. And he's gonna tell his next passenger? Like, why would you ban me from Uber? Not that I took Uber anyway. When I heard my door getting busted open, it was like they've killed my guards. Because I didn't know if it was the police or the other team.
Right.
And I got my weapon and they bust in the door, and obviously there's a bunch of them, they're all masked up with shotguns, etc. When I first saw the police, it was genuine relief. I thought it could have been I'd rather the police than crazy Albanians.
Right.
I really thought it might be the other team. So when I first saw the police, I was like, thank God it's you. What do you want? They're like, oh, get on the ground. I'm like, yeah, I'll get on the ground, whatever. Like, there's also some girls in the house, and they busted in for human trafficking. There's girls in the house, my brother's girlfriend, my girlfriend, whatever, they're in the house with us. They didn't ask the girls how they are. They didn't say, girls, do you need help? They didn't try and take the girls away, nothing. You know the first thing they said to me? Where's the Bugatti? First words they said to me, no way. I swear to God. Because their intention was to make an example of me, and that was symbolic of my success. At the time, the Bugatti was everywhere, so they wanted to put it on a truck and say, haha, we took it off him. If they cared about human trafficking, why didn't they ask the girls how they were? Why did they drag girls from bed and put them in handcuffs by their hair? Why beat a bunch of women up? I thought we're worried about women here. I thought I'm a misogynist and it's human trafficking. Now you got a bunch of women and you're hurting them. Whole thing's garbage. Whole thing's garbage.
Love him or hate him, Andrew Tate's impact is undeniable. His persona has sparked a global conversation on masculinity, success, and the power of social media. Andrew Tate's story is far from over, as he continues to navigate the challenges and opportunities of his unique path. One thing is certain: he will remain a compelling and divisive figure in the public eye.
Where else have people who have inspired millions who spoke against authority ever ended up, besides jail or dead?
The Matrix is calling.
Time's up.